little advice. If you want one of these boats, you need a shitload of money and a lot of patience. If you have to speak to the wife about the money, you're probably better off not ringing me. It takes us anywhere between 5 to 9 years to build one. That's what they tell me anyway. Yeah, it's a fairly exciting day. It's unusual. We've got 4 Whitepointer, 263 Whitepointers here. Over probably $1 million worth of boats, 2,000 horsepower. This don't happen too often. We're sitting here at the beachfront holiday park in Eden, just not far from the quarantine boat ramp actually. The boys have been good enough to tow these boats from all over the place. A couple of lads from Melbourne, Wangaratta. Yeah, it was an early start. We kicked off 5 o'clock in the morning. We done a photo shoot at the ramp. Fairly impressive, the whole thing lined up, looking at all those motors. As I said earlier, 2,000 horsepower lined up. Dodge Rams, GMC, flashes looking thing you've laid eyes on. Definitely an impressive looking tow vehicle, and it definitely lends itself to the 263 Whitepointer. You don't actually need one of these. You can have a shitty old Toyota Land Cruiser, but at the end of the day, you got to look the part. We left Quarantine Ramp and slipped over to Snug Cove, over to the mussel boat. I convinced the lads to give us 20 kilo mussels for tonight's barbecue, and then we headed off. The idea was to run up the coast to Merimbula. We stuck our head around North Head, and mate, it's fizzing 30 knot nor'easter. Fairly horrific conditions, but fortunately for these sort of things, that's what they're built for. The 4 of them, it didn't take long actually to steam to Merimbula, punched up there, bit of a photo shoot on the way. Eventually we made our way into Merimbula Lake. We ended up at the waterfront restaurant, which is owned actually by one of the skippers, one of the Whitepointers, the lad with the twin 300 Yamahas on the back. Once we're at Merimbula, two of the owners of these 263 Whitepointers, both are baristas. One lad's got a coffee shop in Werribee, Melbourne. The other one's got the waterfront cafe in Merimbula. They had a bit of a coffee shootout. Fortunately enough for me, I was the judge, and the local guy lost. He wasn't happy about it. Salim, that owns the big powered 263 Whitepointer, he was victorious on the day. The 4 boats we have here, they're similar, but one of them's an ab boat. It's got a wave breaker on it, a little different to the other 3. It was set up originally as a commercial ab boat. Twin 300 Yamahas, fairly quick piece of gear, but not quite as quick as the new one. Salim, he's a barista from Melbourne, as we said a little earlier. Great lad, big horsepower. Unfortunately for Sal, he fell right in amongst my factory move. So yeah, he was patient. It did drag out a bit. But the day he turned up with his brand new tow vehicle, the Dodge Ram, I think he forgot about the weight. He had a smile from ear to ear. He was happy to hook this thing on and head off. Talking about the motors, at that stage they were talking of 350 Suzukis. I was pretty interested in that to see a set of 700 horsepower, as I said earlier. We hadn't had one up to date with that sort of horsepower on it. So Sal, yep, away he went. Awesome machine. Power is unbelievable in this thing. Out of the hole, neck breaking. You don't necessarily need a million horsepower on these things, but as an old ab diver, there's no substitute for horsepower from my point of view. This thing just chews down. Unfortunately, any of the old Hayes Hutters are like, you haven't got to look in. This thing will just annihilate you in no time. A couple of his mates were out there today, absolutely pumped. Rough conditions, but these things just ate it up. He had a smile like a Cheshire cat. We got another lad here with the flash looking Whitepointer, the big decals down the side of it. Graham, he's a farmer from out Wangaratta way. And then we got Carl, he's got the thing with the decals all down the sides of it. Keen as marlin fisherman, offshore hardcore fisherman. Him and 3 or 4 of his mates have arrived too, so it's been a fairly hectic day. The Lebanese lads, they did put on a great feed. It wasn't expected. They turned up with all the food. They catered for everyone here, and there was quite a few of us, probably 15 of us. And as I said, the food they brought with them was well appreciated.
Come in, come.
Yeah, the hooker pipes. And after a kilo and a half of opium, everyone was relaxed and laid back. Tonight, it'll be a little different. It looks like we're cooking tonight for those guys. Eden Mussels donated 20 kilo mussels, so we're going to show the Lebanese lads how the Australians do it. Just another thanks to another crowd, Grand Shoreland, Abalone Diver, Malakuta Mafia.
Yeah, the boys have got them sorted out. They're fucking tricked out, you know. It's all about how big's your dick. These boys have got big dicks.
He turned up with a Grady White. He supplied the camera boat for this shoot. Him and a few of his mates, they've had a great night as well. I've had the question asked numerous times about hand-laid boats, chopper gun. I've heard comments that if you use a chopper gun, they're resin rich, hand-laid's better. I definitely think that with a gun, I can outperform a hand-laid boat. The problem with a hand-laid, especially a boat my size, if you try to hand-lay a boat my size, you can't do it in one layer. So they have overlaps all through it, and they tend to overlap the chop strand mat in the same place. So it's thick and thin, thick and thin. If you've got a good gun operator, I can put a 600 gram pass down, survey qualified marine engineers, everyone loves it. They measure it, it goes down as smooth as anything. A lot of my boats are hand laid, part of it, all the rovings, all the biaxial, full sheets, they go into it, they're hand laid, no doubt. But between that, we use a chopper gun and a lot of the parts, the internals, the stringers. The stringers, they're laid up with the chopper gun, but again, a lot of rovings into it. We use, even in the stringers, we use biaxial, woven rovings and unidirectional glass. So there's a whole matrix of glass that fits into these things. Again, with the hull, there's a whole mixture. We don't only use one type of glass. These things have been designed by a naval architect, by a lad by the name of Paul Bury, fairly switched on lad. No doubt you've heard, 37 layers of glass, bulletproof transoms, fiberglass stringers, tough as nails. Hence the 700 horsepower rating. Nothing goes close of a boat that size. Most of the lads I build boats for are pretty patient, and they have to be actually, because again, the boats I built, they're all built, none of them are entirely the same. They're all custom built and it drags on and on. I build 2 or 3 at a time. You do have to be patient, and as I said, 99% of the guys, no doubt, are patient and they do wait. But I do come across some fucking shitbags at times. Other than that, it's pretty well rosy. One of the outstanding features of these 350s is the control system, the precision. As I say, if fuel's a bloody concern, don't buy one of my boats. You know, fucking buy a 50, you know, that thing that just come past with a 15 on it, that's pretty fuel efficient. It's not whether you win or lose, it's how you look when you play the game.
Yeah, it's true. Keep rolling.
Nah, fuck, we've done enough.